Hello, children. I welcome you all to the English class. In this session, we are going to deal with Unit 8, and the theme of the unit is travel and tourism. Reading A, and it is titled The Accidental Tourist by Bill Bryson. Observe these pictures, children. We can see different tourists and tourist places. These are different tourist places. We use different means of transport to travel different countries or different tourist places. What do you observe here, children? Oh no, a girl behind falls down. In this picture, we can see two girls standing on the tables to perform dances, whereas the girl behind the first one falls down. Oh, it's so unfortunate to see a person falling down while doing his regular exercise. Oh no, see what has happened here? A camera person who wanted to capture what's going on over there in his camera falls down accidentally. Here in this image, we can see a cute little one falling down. Oh no, actually, he wants to sit and he wants to play, but unfortunately, he falls down. So, all these things, such type of things happen even with us without our knowledge. Sometimes accidentally, all these things happen with each one of us. Before starting with the actual reading of the text, let's see some new words which we shall come across in our reading. Disgorging, pour something out in large quantities. Catastrophe, a sudden event that causes many people to suffer. Perch, a place or position. Next, next one is urban, polished and cultured. Bon mots, clever remarks. Suave, sophisticated, polite. And the next one is seismic event, a powerful happening like an earthquake. Let's start with the actual reading of the text. Children, in the session 1 of Accidental Tourist, you were already introduced to this story. It's a humorous one where the writer talks of the incidents where he acts clumsy. Actually, the writer wants to behave in a sophisticated manner, children, but he is unable to do so. And he always ends up in a clumsy way. He spills drinks, he smears his face with ink, and creating a mess on the dining table All such sort of things were discussed in our session 1. Here we can see that some people are so unorganized, and the writer is one among them. Let's continue with the reading. The zip on the bag was jammed, so I pulled on it and yanked at it, with grunts and frowns and increasing consternation. I kept this up for some minutes, but it wouldn't budge. So I pulled harder and harder with more grunts. Well, you can guess what happened. Abruptly, the zip gave away. The meaning of abruptly is suddenly. So, in actual sense, what has happened is he has kept all the things what he needs in a bag, and the zip on the bag was jammed. He was unable to open it. So, in order to open it, he has kept so much of energy that whatever the belongings or whatever the things are there in that bag, when he kept it so hard, the zip opened abruptly and all the things have scattered. The size of the bag flew open and everything within, newspaper cuttings. See what are all the things that are there in the bag, and loose papers, a 14-ounce tin pipe of tobacco, magazines, passport, English money. Film was extravagantly ejected over an area about the size of a tennis court. So all these things which were kept in the bag, they were ejected out over a size of a tennis court. Yeah, I watched, dumbstruck, as 100 carefully sorted documents came raining down in a fluttery cascade. Coins bounced to a variety of noisy oblivions, and the now lidless tin of tobacco rolled crazily across the concourse, disgorging its contents as it went. So he became dumbstruck for a moment, and all these things happened. My tobacco! I cried in horror. He was crying for his tin of tobacco, thinking what I would have to pay for that much tobacco in England now that another budget had come and gone. So actually, uh, he was in the habit of taking tobacco. So if at all he loses it, he was thinking that how much he has to pay for that tobacco in England. And then changed the cry to my finger, my finger. So after that, he has completely changed his crying towards. He started shouting like my finger. As I discovered that I had gassed my finger on the zip and was shedding blood in a lavish manner. So what happened is he has kept his finger while he was about to open the zip, and somehow his finger started to bleed. I'm not very good around flowing blood generally, but when it's my own, well, I think hysterics are fully justified. Confused and unable to help, my hair went into panic mode. Yeah, he was a bit tensed after seeing his blood. It was at this point that my wife looked at me with an expression of wonder, not anger or exasperation, but just simple wonder, and said, I can't believe you do this for a living. Yeah, he was always, whenever he wants to travel, he is so unorganized, and and this thing was proved again while he was traveling. But I'm afraid it's so. I always have catastrophes when I travel. Once on an aeroplane, I leaned over to tie a shoelace. Just at that moment, someone in the seat ahead of me threw his seat back into the full recline and found myself pinned helplessly in the crash position. So, what has happened is when he was about to travel in an aeroplane, he's as usual, he's afraid of his things that happen without accidentally. Yes. So what has happened is once on an aeroplane, When he was about to tie his shoelace, just at that moment, someone who is sitting ahead of him, ahead of his seat, he just threw his seat back in a full recline. He wanted to take rest, and he has adjusted his seat in such a position that he can lean over it. So, and I found myself pinned helplessly in the class position. Yeah, as he was about to tie his shoelace, he was just he was helpless at that position. It was only by clawing the leg of the man sitting next to me that I managed to get myself freed. Yeah, at that point, he just crawled over it and he managed to free himself. On other occasion, let's see what happened on the other occasion. I knocked a soft drink onto the lap of a sweet little lady sitting beside me. Yeah, he has knocked the soft drink which was offered to him on a sweet little lady who was sitting beside him. The flight attendant came and cleaned her up. So when he did this, the flight attendant, she came and she cleaned her up and brought me a replacement drink. And instantly I knocked it onto the woman again. When he was replaced with another drink, he just knocked it again on the woman. To this day, I don't know how I did it. I just remember reaching out for my new drink and watching helplessly as my arm, like some cheap prop in one of those 1950s horror movies with a name like the undead limb, violently swept the drink from its perch and onto her lap. So what he's telling is he's explaining that without his intention, without his involvement, it so happened that sometimes it happens in horror movies, no, a arm or a limb comes and it takes away. It so happened he's explaining in that manner that I just remember taking off the replacement drink, but I don't know how it has happened. The lady looked at me with the stupefied expression you would expect to receive from someone whom you have. Yeah, not only that lady, any person who will be in that position will be reacting in the same way. Repeatedly drenched and uttered on oath that started with oath, finished with sake, and in between had some words that I have never heard uttered in public before, certainly not by a run. So he was supposed to listen to the words that he have never heard it in public before. Yeah, this, however, was not my worst experience on a plane flight. He's sharing all his worst experiences, all his unorganized experiences with us. So he's also telling that this is not his first experience. He previously also he has come across such type of incidents. My worst experience was when I was writing important thoughts in a notebook. So what he's sharing that his worst experience his ever is when he was noting down all the important thoughts in a notebook. Buy socks, clutch drinks carefully, etc. He just wanted to note down what he wanted to do. Sucking thoughtfully on the end of my pen as you do. So most of the students, what they will do is when they wanted to, while writing exams or while attempting anything, if they forget something, they'll just wanted to, in order to recollect those things. What we all will do, we all are in the habit of keeping the pen in the mouth. So even this person had the same habit of keeping the pen in the mouth and sucking it. Unfortunately, and fell into the conversation with an attractive lady in the next seat. Yeah, so what he has done is just forgetting that he has kept the pen in his mouth, and he fell with the conversation with an attractive lady in the next seat. I amused her for perhaps 20 minutes. For about 20 minutes, he spoke to her with a scattering of urban born smarts, then retired to the lavatory where I discovered that the pen had leaked and that my mouth, chin, tongue, teeth, and guns were now a striking scrub resistant navy blue. Oh, it's so unfortunate that has a thing that has happened with him, children. So what has happened is, when he has kept his pen in the mouth, and when he went on talking with that young lady for about 20 minutes, what has the ink that was there in the pen, it leaked like anything else, and perhaps his mouth, chin, tongue, teeth and gums, they became navy blue and would remain so for several days. So that navy blue, that bluishness, that ink remained on his mouth for several days. So you will understand, I trust, when I tell you how much I ache to be suave. I would love just once in my life to rise from a dinner table without looking as if I have just experienced an extremely localized seismic event. Get in a car and close the door without leaving 14 inches of the coat outside. So, all these are the experiences he's sharing with us. What are all the things that happen in the story? He's explaining us all these things, and while he was getting into the car, sometimes it so happens that his 14 inches coat, he leaves outside, and he closes the door of the car, wear light colored trousers without discovering at the end of the day that I have at various times sat on chewing gum. Yeah, sometimes he also happens to wear a light colored dress, and without noticing, he sits on the chewing gum, ice cream, cough syrup, and motor oil. But it is not to be. Yeah. So without his, intention, or he just sat in on chewing gum. He also sat on ice cream essence, cough syrup. Oh, when we wear light colored dresses, so we have to be very much careful while sitting. Now he's sharing one more incident that happened with him. Now on planes, when the food is delivered. So when the food is delivered while they were traveling on an aeroplane, my wife says, "Take the lids off the food for daddy, or put your hoods up, children. Daddy's about to cut his meat." Yeah. She warns her children on beforehand that when his husband, when her husband is about to eat, she warns the children on the beforehand. Of course, this is only when I am flying with my family. When I am on my own, see, he dares to eat in the flight or in the journeys when he travels with his family, or whenever he travels single. No, he just don't dare to eat anything. When I am on my own, I don't eat, drink, or lean over to tie my shoes lace. I never put up a pen anywhere near my mouth. I just sit very, very, very quietly, sometimes on my hands, to keep them from flying out unexpectedly and causing liquid mischief. It's not much fun, but it does at least cut down on the laundry bills. Yeah. I never did get my frequent flyer miles. By the way, I never do. I could not find the card in time. Actually, he's a person who travels a lot. So he has joined in a frequent flyers program where the card will be issued. So sometimes even we will get the cards for discount offers and all. No? So even this person has the traveling authority has issued a card to him. This has become a real frustration for me. Everyone is forever flying off to Bali first class with the air miles. I never get to collect anything. I must fly 100,000 miles a year, yet I have accumulated only about 212 air miles divided between 23 airlines. Yeah, this is because either I forget to ask for the air miles when I check in, or I remember to ask for them, but the airline then manages not to record them, or check in clerk informs me that I am not entitled to them. In January, on a flight to Australia, a flight for which I was going to get about a million air miles, The clerk shook her head when I presented my card and told me I was not entitled to any. So he asked why he was not entitled to any. Why? He has kept the question why. The ticket is in the name of B. Bryson and the card is in the name of W. Bryson. Oh, here the matter ends. See, actually, he has purchased a ticket by B. Bryson, whereas on the card it was printed as W. Bryson. So, there ends the scenario. I explained to her the close and the venerable relationship between Bill and William, but she would not have it. So I did not get my air miles and I won't be flying to Valley first class just yet. Perhaps just as well. Really, I could never go that long without eating. So these were the experiences that Bill Bryson had in this story. Yeah, so children, that was the story, The Accidental Tourist. And let's go through the question and answers of this lesson. Yeah. Why are his teeth and gums navy blue? Yes. What is the reason for his, what is the reason behind it? While pondering over his writing, he was chewing on his pen. He was so careless that he did not notice the ink getting into his mouth. Yeah. It took longer for him to impress the lady sitting next to him. So all these things had made his teeth and gums navy blue. Yeah. Let's see the next second one. Did the narrator do all the awkward things intentionally or accidentally? Give your reasons. Yes. The narrator does not do anything intentionally. Yes, all the things happened accidentally only. He is by nature a man of confusion. He himself had admitted that he gets confused easily. He admitted that he gets confused easily. He had many experiences during traveling. Yeah. Let's see the next one. What kind of the person was the narrator? How can you justify your opinion? What kind of a person was the narrator? Let's see. The narrator cannot do a simple day to day activity without confusion. Yeah. By going through the whole A reading, we came to the conclusion that he cannot perform simple day to day activities without any confusion. He often confuses way to lavatory. He finds it difficult to remember his hotel room number. He forgets almost everything which is required to carry out his routine activity. Yeah, almost everything he forgets. Most of us never ponder about our routine activity as the routine things are fixed in our brains. Actually, the routine things which we do on regular basis are fixed on our in our brains. We don't remember them. But some people like narrator find it difficult and almost impossible. So the people like narrator feels even the routine things also very difficult and they feel that they are almost impossible. Yeah. What is the significance of the title? What is the title? Accidental Tourist. See, the title, The Accidental Tourist, refers to the accidents caused by the writer while he is traveling. Yeah, while he is traveling, it refers to the accidents, things that happen accidentally. Thank you, children. Hope you all enjoyed the story. Accidental Tourist. Do write online test 7.